Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Chase Chrisley opens up about true thoughts on parents' arrest. Chase Chrisley has opened up about his true thoughts on his parents' arrest. This is something that Chase has not said too much on. Fans know exactly where his sister, Savannah Chrisley, stands. However, Chase has not talked too much on the subject. Well, until now. He has let all of his feelings be known. There is a lot to unfold. Keep reading to find out more about this situation. Todd and Julie Chrisley in federal prison. Todd and Julie Chrisley are currently in federal prison. This is because they were arrested for tax evasion and fraud. Apparently, they were scamming the bank by submitting fake documents to fill out loans. However, the family is denying any of these claims. This has been going on for a while. However, Julie recently had a resentencing hearing that could have potentially let her out early. Sadly, the judge did not shave any time off of her sentence and added probation time to it instead. Yikes. The family is not happy and still hopes Donald Trump will pardon Todd and Julie. Chase Chrisley gives his true thoughts on parents' arrest. Chase Chrisley has given his true thoughts on his parents' arrest. This is something he hasn't spoken too much on, so fans are intrigued. Wow. Chase let it all out. He claims his parents never stole money from anyone and that it was Todd's business partner. It seems as though Chase is not happy about his parents' arrest. In fact, he is really mad about it. Chase is blaming Todd's business partner for all of the wrongdoings. However, the court seems to have enough evidence on Julie and Todd to have arrested them. So fans are not sure what they should believe at this point. The Chrisley family is still hoping that Donald Trump will pardon Todd and Julie Chrisley. For a long time, Chase Chrisley stood in the public spotlight as the fun-loving, mischievous son of Todd and Julie Chrisley, the polished Southern royalty of reality television. But behind the designer clothes, Bentley keys, and charming smile, Chase has been living in the eye of a storm. Now, as the dust slowly settles from his parents' highly publicized legal battles and incarceration, Chase is finally breaking his silence in a way fans have never heard before. And it's raw. It's real. It's Chase unfiltered. Everything changed the moment the verdict was read, Chase says, sitting on the edge of a leather armchair in his Nashville home, eyes heavy with both resolve and heartbreak. It was like someone ripped our world apart in seconds. The once tightly knit Chrisley clan had already endured countless rumors, tabloid speculation, and emotional strain, but nothing could have prepared Chase for watching his parents be sentenced to prison. Todd Chrisley, the patriarch of their perfectly polished brand, was handed a 12-year prison sentence. Julie, the loving, steadfast matriarch, received 7. The charges? Bank fraud, wire fraud, tax evasion. Words that felt worlds away from the genteel, southern charm the family had built their name on. Chase remembers the moment vividly. I felt numb. My legs gave out. I think I blacked out for a few seconds, he says, voice breaking slightly. I just kept thinking, this can't be happening. Not my parents. But after months of silence, Chase is opening up. Not for sympathy, not for scandal, but for truth. You know, for a long time, I was angry, he admits. Not just at the government or the media, but at them, my parents. I questioned everything. I wanted to scream, to disappear. I had thoughts like, why didn't they stop before it got this far? His honesty is disarming. It's clear that beneath the carefully managed image of the Chrisley brand, Chase is someone reckoning with the fallout of decisions he didn't make, yet will live with for the rest of his life. But then, he continues, I realized something important. I don't have to understand all of it to still love them. Chase describes visiting his father at the federal prison camp in Pensacola, Florida. Dad tried to be strong. He cracked jokes and acted like it was just another bump in the road. Chase says, shaking his head. But I could see it in his eyes. He was hurting. And for the first time in my life, he looked small, vulnerable. With his mother, the experience was different. Julie, serving her sentence in Lexington, Kentucky, showed Chase a kind of grace he wasn't prepared for. She told me, "Don't waste your energy hating the world. Just keep living. For us. For yourself." And that stuck with me. Still, Chase doesn't sugarcoat the fallout. People look at me differently now. Business deals dried up. Friends vanished. Strangers online tore me apart like I was the one who did it. His voice drops to a whisper. I had days where I didn't get out of bed. Days where I drank too much. Nights where I stared at the ceiling wondering if the Chrisley name would ever mean something good again. He pauses, letting that sink in. But pain reveals people, he adds. It shows you who you are without all the lights and cameras. And I found out, I'm a fighter. Chase says he spent the past year rebuilding, not just his reputation, but his soul. He started therapy. He reconnected with his faith. He even launched a new business venture. One entirely independent from the Chrisley brand. I needed to build something of my own. Something that wasn't built on a TV script or someone else's decisions. Perhaps most importantly, Chase took on the role of protector to his younger siblings, especially Grayson and Chloe. They didn't ask for any of this, he says. They still need guidance, and now that our parents are away, I'm trying to be that for them. He admits it hasn't been easy. Sometimes I feel like I'm failing, like I can't be both big brother and father figure. But I show up. Every day, I show up. Chase also opens up about how fame, once a dream, became a double-edged sword. We used to think reality TV made us invincible, he reflects. But fame is hollow when your family's broken. He says he's not interested in returning to television anytime soon, unless it's on his own terms. If I ever go back on camera, it'll be to tell stories that matter. Stories that aren't airbrushed with perfection. And yes, he's writing a book. It's part memoir, part survival guide for people who've been through hell with their families. When asked if he believes his parents are guilty, Chase takes a long breath. I believe they made mistakes, he says carefully. And I believe they've paid, and are still paying, a terrible price. But I also believe they're not the monsters people make them out to be. Then he adds, I still love them. That hasn't changed. Chase knows there will always be people who doubt his sincerity, who accuse him of trying to rebrand the Chrisley name. But for him, this isn't about image. It's about truth. My parents aren't perfect. I'm not perfect, but we're still a family. We're still here, and we're still fighting. As the interview ends, Chase steps outside into the Nashville twilight. The air is quiet, but his mind is anything but. He's no longer just Todd's son or Julie's boy. He's a man who's been forged in the fire of public scandal, who's chosen growth over gossip, and who now walks a path that's entirely his own. And as he looks up at the sky, hands in his pockets, he says one final thing. They took our freedom, but they didn't take our story. I'm still writing mine.